So about 24 hours after I uploaded my last video on the SSSniperWolf jacksfilms controversy, YouTube and SSniperWolf responded. Now, before I dig deep into those tweets and analyze them, this is sort of a follow-up to my first video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't seen it. But there's a lot of stuff I missed in that video, plus that video was filmed 2 days after the incident happened. A lot of shit came out since I filmed that video that kind of made the video outdated, so I want to go over that stuff. And during that week, since SSniperWolf doxed Jack and there was absolutely no response from YouTube, people were digging into SSniperWolf's past videos and just, I guess, searching for shit on her. And they found some pretty disturbing stuff, like kind of going beyond problematic into sort of fucked up territory. Like, I believe she posted 1 or 2 Omegle videos where she asks some minors to do some sexually inappropriate stuff, like asking her to twerk on camera. That is arguably worse than anything else that she's ever done. And since those videos recently came into light, they've been deleted by SSniperWolf. Not only that being immoral and potentially illegal, that is definitely against YouTube's terms of service. You guys pointed this out in the comments to me multiple times that apparently in Jack's state, doxing is illegal. And we haven't heard from Jack recently, so some of you guys speculated that potentially maybe he's behind the scenes trying to figure out some legal case. It's really just up to Jack at this point. I also want to point out that SSniperWolf's sister has been defending her relentlessly, and she's really kind of been over the top about it, like even saying that it's not doxing him because you can Google his address. I feel like by that logic, you can't really dox anybody because do you know how many people's addresses you could Google or just do enough digging? So can you dox anybody? So is like doxing okay? But for this video, what I really want to get into are the terrible tweets that YouTube and SSniperWolf posted this past Friday. It took them an entire week to do this from YouTube, confirming SSniperWolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. Now, to start off, what actually pisses me off the most about this tweet is that they say that both sides are in the wrong here. No, this is 1000% Jack is in the right and SSniperWolf is in the wrong. Like, what are they saying that Jack did? Do they honestly think that he was harassing SSniperWolf? Like, critiquing somebody multiple times, that's not anywhere equivalent to doxing somebody. Like, take one look at political YouTube. Tons of different creators go after the same creators almost on a daily basis. And I think basically Jacksepticeye's tweet kind of sums it up pretty well. Criticism and parody are not the same as doxing. And the last line kind of also pisses me off, hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. To me, that feels almost sort of like passive aggressive and almost patronizing us. I can't help but feel like this response is sort of just like, please, can you guys shut the fuck up about this? And I haven't seen many people take this conversation like over the top or anything, but the most important part about this tweet is the fact that they're punishing SSniperWolf with a temporary demonetization. That's it. That's really all you're going to do. That is very much a slap on the wrist. Like, that's barely a punishment at all. Jack's life is put in danger and she just loses a little bit of money. Like, I guarantee you that's not gonna hurt her bottom line at all very much, especially since it's temporary. But then shortly after YouTube tweeted that, SSniperWolf releases this tweet. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to jacksfilms, YouTube, and the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example of appropriate conflict resolution. jacksfilms, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I am sorry for reacting the way I did when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflict by communicating directly, respectfully, and privately. Not for views or content, but a meaningful example of how conflict should be solved. I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I deserve it. Respect the decision and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
True lapse in judgment? How is this a lapse in judgment? Like literally days after you dox Jack, you post a picture of you and your sister sort of like making fun of the entire situation. Like to me, a lapse in judgment is sort of momentarily, not something that takes multiple days and weeks and other people to point out your mistake to you. And also, I just want to point out that she keeps saying Jack's film. It's Jack's Films. Like honestly, I kind of do find that disrespectful. You're making an apology post to somebody and you can't even get their name right, or at the very least you could just call him Jack. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's not the worst apology. I guess she could have come out here and been like, no, I'm entirely correct, fuck all of y'all. But it's still not a sufficient response in my opinion. But it's really up to Jack if he accepts this apology, I guess. Like, who am I to accept it or deny it for him, or anybody else for that matter? But something I want to point out about these two tweets is that they were posted minutes apart, if not seconds apart from each other. I don't know about anybody else, but to me that basically means that YouTube and SSniperWolf are definitely coordinating their response. They were definitely talking behind the scenes. I'm sure YouTube was in contact with SSniperWolf's PR team, lawyer, manager, anybody else, and they came to the conclusion for a temporary demonetization with SSniperWolf apologizing. Now, about a day or two after these two tweets were released, people were taking a look at SSniperWolf's channel to really see if YouTube is sticking to their word on this. And to nobody's surprise, it doesn't seem like they are. Turns out vidIQ has a plugin showing when videos are monetized or not. Using that plugin, it shows that only SSniperWolf's most recent video has ads turned off, whereas all of her other videos are still shown to be monetized. SSniperWolf only had their latest video demonetized, but all the others still bring in that bag. YouTube trying to be slick. Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, YouTube is a corporation and they want to make as much money as possible. And SSniperWolf having 30 million subscribers and gets millions of views on each video brings in a lot of money. So of course, number one, they want to leave as many videos on her channel as monetized as possible. And number two, that's why this is temporary. They don't want all of her videos to be demonetized because they will lose a ton of money. And the hypocrisy on this is just insane because once again, this would not be the case for any other smaller YouTuber. If once again, like I said in my last video, if Jack did this, he would be booted off the platform so quick. We all know that to be the case. YouTube definitely has its favorite creators for sure. And it really is outrageous because it seems like at this point, SSniperWolf has been kind of let off the hook. I mean, she's not going to be hurt by this. All of her past videos are still going to be making money. And if the demonetization is only temporary, that either means that her videos that are currently demonetized will eventually become monetized, or at some point in the future, maybe like a month or a week from now, YouTube will allow her to monetize her videos again, which like the punishment in this case just does not fit the crime. Like Jack's life and his family and like physical well-being are legitimately being put at risk, whereas SSniperWolf just loses a little bit of money. Like I don't know how much money she makes, but I guarantee you that this is barely gonna hurt her at all. So once again, that's the entire situation as of right now. I don't know when this video is going to be posted. I'm going to try to post this video as soon as possible, and I don't know if this will be my last video, but as of right now, I kind of think things have died down a little bit, and I think SSniperWolf and YouTube and Jack are all going to be on the low on this entire situation for a while now. There probably won't be any more follow-up videos from me on this topic, but this situation is definitely something to keep an eye out for because once again, this really does impact all of YouTube. Now, actually, there is one more thing I want to point out about this entire situation. I've seen people say online that she's getting favorable treatment from YouTube because she is a woman, and I strongly disagree with that. I do not think that's the case. Like, a similar situation happened with Logan Paul, where they temporarily demonetized his channel for, I believe it was for the entire Suicide Forest reversed situation. Like, YouTube is a company. It'll prioritize money over anything else, so I really don't think this has anything to involve the fact that she's a woman. But like I said in the last video, I do think that this situation would entirely be different and be perceived differently if the sexual roles were reversed. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Once again, I had to record this without a script because this shit once again dropped out of nowhere. But make sure to both sides that like button. And remember, don't be like SSSniperWolf.